PDPs done right. Stop ticking boxes. Start changing futures. If there's one tool that should drive retention, boost confidence, and unlock future leaders in your business, it's the personal development plan. And yet, in far too many workplaces, PDPs are misunderstood, misused, or completely forgotten. They're treated as paperwork, administrator, a polite HR ritual to be completed, submitted, and ignored. But what if I told you the problem isn't the people? It's how we're using the tool. In this edition, we're cutting through the fluff to show you how to transform PDPs from tick box tasks into real engines of growth for your team, your culture, and your bottom line. Still using PDPs as admin? Let's fix that. Let's get this out of the way early. Most personal development plans, PDPs, fail. Not because the people are unmotivated, not because the goals are too ambitious, and definitely not because the form wasn't designed well enough. They fail because we've turned something deeply human, the desire to grow, into an annual admin exercise. You know the routine, a templated form, some vaguely worded goals about communication or confidence, a tick in the LMS, and then it disappears until someone asks about it in a year's time. We've taken the personal out of personal development. And yet, if we want to engage and retain our people, particularly in hospitality, where growth paths can feel opaque and development often plays second fiddle to operations, we need to rethink PDPs entirely. Because here's the real truth. When done well, PDPs don't just support growth. They drive retention, confidence, leadership readiness, and performance. In fact, 94% of employees say they'd stay longer at a company that invests in their development, LinkedIn Learning Workplace Learning Report 2019. And we're still letting that opportunity slip. What a PDP is and isn't, let's start with some clarity. A personal development plan isn't a spreadsheet, a system entry, or a line in an appraisal form. It's a mutual commitment between employee and manager to explore potential, set direction, and take meaningful steps toward growth. Done well, it's co-created, actionable, aligned to the individual and the business, regularly reviewed, genuinely motivational. Poorly done, it becomes a vague wish list of training courses and aspirations with no real accountability, support, or follow-up. PDP or PIP know the difference. This part matters because it's confused too often. A personal development plan, PDP, is about growth, helping someone move forward, stretch their strengths, and achieve long-term goals. It's future-facing, positive, and often self-initiated. It's what you give to people you believe in and want to invest in. A performance improvement plan, PIP, is about correction, managing someone who isn't meeting expectations. It's targeted, time-bound, and typically more formal. It can be the final step before further action is taken. Too often, managers avoid difficult conversations and try to hide a PIP inside a PDP, softening language, hinting at consequences, but never being clear. The result? The employee feels misled, the manager loses credibility, and neither document serves its purpose. Use a PDP to support ambition. Use a PIP to support accountability. Use both correctly, and everyone wins. Build from conversation, not a form. Before you even open a document, could you start with a conversation? And not just the, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Cliché. Ask better questions. The kind that uncovers drive, fear, and untapped potential. What energizes you in your role right now? Where do you feel least confident? If you could develop one skill that would make your job easier, what would it be? What would you like to be doing more of in 6 months? This is the foundation of a meaningful PDP, one rooted in reflection and ambition, not compliance. And don't assume development must always mean promotion. For some, it's about mastery. For others, it's about confidence, clarity, or variety. All are valid. Set fewer goals, but make them count. If your PDP has more than 3 goals, it may be too many. Focus. Prioritize. Help your team member identify 1 or 2 goals that would genuinely shift the dial, for them and for the business. Make sure every goal is SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, and frame them in terms of real-world action, not abstract ambition. Make development practical, not theoretical. Hospitality teams are busy. Shifts are unpredictable. No one's logging on to online modules at midnight after closing the bar. So, bring development into the everyday. Shadow someone from another team for an hour. Run the morning briefing once a week. Present a mini project to the GM. Take over the stock count for 1 cycle. Write a 1-pager on what you've learned this month. Learning happens best when it's lived, not when it's scheduled. What to do when PDPs stall. Even great plans lose momentum. Life gets in the way. People get stuck. Here's what to do when it happens. Talk early. Don't wait for a review meeting. Check in monthly. Unpack the blockers. Time, confidence, support. Scope the real issue. Be flexible. Adjust goals, timelines, or formats if needed. Reinforce the value. Acknowledge effort, even if results take time. Remember, development is a journey, not a pass-fail score. Real-world PDPs that actually work. Alex, Guest Services Agent. Goal, build leadership confidence. Action, lead the team briefing twice a month and receive peer feedback. Support, Shadow Duty Manager once per week. Chemi, Housekeeping Team Leader. Goal, improve reporting and digital admin skills. Action, complete weekly room discrepancy logs in PMS, and have the manager review them. Support, 1-to-1 coaching on Excel basics. Ravi, sous chef goal, understand the commercial drivers of the kitchen. Action, create a monthly food cost report and present to the GM. Support, monthly mentoring with the executive chef. Tanya, night auditor. Goal, explore internal career paths. Action, conduct 2 informational interviews with other departments. Support, time allocated to attend 1 interdepartmental meeting. Try this week. Pick 1 team member. Ask them, what's one thing you'd love to get better at? Something that would help you feel more confident, more capable, or more future-ready. Then, could you agree on 1 small action together? Please write it down. Schedule a follow-up. That's your PDP in motion. Conclusion: don't file it, fuel it. The future of your team doesn't live in a form. It lives in the conversations you have, the questions you ask, and the opportunities you create. Personal development plans, when done right, aren't about ticking boxes. They're about unlocking possibilities. For too long, we've let development become passive, something people are sent on rather than supported through. But we can change that. We must change that, especially in an industry built on people, growth, and adaptability.